How does a team that ranks bottom in the league for possession and rank highest in the league for clearances sit third in the Premier League table?
Well, looking at their stats here, they have conceded the least amount of goals in the league this season, aside from Arsenal and Liverpool, and they rank joint top in terms of clean sheets.
Really good.
And ultimately, this is a testament to Nuno and the brilliant players he has in his back line.
Yeah.
Take a look at their goalkeeper, Matt Sells. He has recorded 12 clean sheets in the league this season.
That is really
That
impressive.
is more than any other goalkeeper at this stage.
Yeah.
On top of that, he averages 3.1 saves per 90, and on top of that, he has an XG prevented of 3.7, which is only better by Vicario.
Yeah.
And yes, he's not the most flashy keeper in the world, and he's not great at playing out from the back, but that is not what Nuno asks of him.
Yeah.
Nuno just says, keep the ball out of the net, and anything else is a bonus. So yeah, he has been brilliant for Forest this season, but he's not the only player who's been brilliant in the back line, has he? As I alluded to earlier on.
No, both Milenkovic and Murillo have been absolutely unreal this season.
I agree.
And I'll start with Milenkovic because since he signed from Fiorentina, he's brought that experience in Italy and also in Europe because he played in European football, and he's brought that to the Nottingham Forest defence and completely transformed them.
100%.
And in my opinion, he's one of the pinnacles as to why they're competing for Champions League football. And he certainly helped and improved his centre-back partner Murillo's game because, again, he's been unbelievable. And in my opinion, he's probably one of the most underrated centre-backs in the Premier League right now.
I can definitely agree with that.
And I think the stats back that because 1.4 clearances per 90, which ranks third in the Premier League, is very impressive. And also 1.4 blocks per 90, which is the highest it's registered at the club by a long way as well. So I think he's very impressive, and he just seems to have a knack for being in the right place at the right time.
I think it's because like Milinkovic is playing alongside him now, so he feels more assured. Maybe, whereas last season when he played with Woody Body and a few others, maybe he didn't have as much confidence to maybe try different things.
He seems a lot more composed, and I know it's very little things, but when a cross comes in, he clears it away without any trouble. He headers it away without any trouble. And I know, again, it's very simple, but in a Nuno system, defending is actually pretty simple because you sit back in a low block, and Murillo does exactly what's asked of him, and he's been unbelievable alongside his partner Milenkovic.
But he also has the ability to play out from the back, which I know isn't really asked in the system, but he's confident on the ball.
Yeah.
And occasionally likes to have a crack from about 50 yards, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He does.
He's been fantastic this season.
Yeah.
Those two, a brilliant pairing. And moving on to arguably the most improved player in the Forest 11, and that man goes by the name of Ola Aina. And I think that's fair to say because at Fulham, and even in his first season at Forest, he was regarded as a good fullback.
Yeah.
But nothing more than that. Whereas at the moment, he's performing as one of the best fullbacks in Europe, which is absolutely staggering.
Definitely.
And this is backed up by his stats, with him having registered 5.67 recoveries per 90 in the Premier League this season. On top of that, he has a tackle success rate of 75.5%.
Yeah, that's really good.
And both of these stats are in the upper percentile for defenders.
Yeah.
On top of that, he's good going the other way too, with him having 1.07 successful dribbles per 90. And that is also in the upper percentile among defenders.
Yeah.
And it's just, he's an all-round fullback. He's good going both ways. He's got the recovery pace as well to defend in transition, and he's a physical presence too. He doesn't really get bullied by the winger. He's just tremendous, and he's, like I said, he's been one of the best fullbacks and one of the best players in the Premier League this season. But moving on to his fellow fullback, Nico Williams. Explain to me why he's arguably had a bigger rise this season than Ola Aina.
Well, yeah, he's been unbelievable this campaign, and well, to start off with, he offers a lot on the front foot, and that enables Forest to create many goal-scoring opportunities, and that's because his pace and his quick feet is able to penetrate teams on the counter-attack. And well, it's a very important profile for Nuno because, as you can see, they're both him and Aina are fast, they got quick feet, and they can penetrate teams on the counter-attack.
They can both play in each other's position.
Yeah.
Ola Aina can function at left back and right back, and likewise with Nico Williams.
Yeah.
It's just a brilliant thing to have if need be, even though they haven't really had to rotate them too often this campaign.
Yeah, definitely. They've both been fantastic. And to go back to Nico Williams, I mean, he's registered a 1.71 XG from open play, which is quite impressive.
1.71 XG.
Yeah, which is quite impressive for fullback. But what's even more impressive is the fact that he's registered 1.3 shots per 90, which is in the upper 90 percentile among other Premier League defenders, which is unbelievable because you wouldn't really expect a fullback to have many shots during a game, let alone over one shot per game. I mean, that's mental, and it shows that clearly they're always thinking on the front foot, and the attacking qualities that both Williams and Aina show clearly, display the fact that Nuno thinks on the front foot, despite how they might sit back and they might be defensive. His first thought is, how can I penetrate teams? How can I counter-attack teams?
Completely agree.
And his fullback's clearly evident that. But as mentioned earlier, the defensive responsibilities of Nico Williams must not go unnoticed because he's certainly excelled in that department. And well, that's backed up by winning 6.5 duels per 90, and that actually equates to winning 59.5% of his duels, which is, it's fantastic.
Brilliant for a fullback.
Certainly.
And Nico Williams, like we keep on alluding to, has exceeded everyone's expectations because at Liverpool Liverpool, everybody thought, well, you're a decent fullback, but you're never going to be a great one. And I know he's not playing at a world-class level now, but to be starting regularly for a team that looks set to, well, play in the Champions League next season is a fantastic achievement for the Welsh lad. But finally, let's cover the two pivots of Nicholas Dominguez and Elliot Anderson. And don't get me wrong, Elliot Anderson's been fantastic this campaign. He's probably had less of a defensive role in the Forest team compared to Dominguez. And Dominguez has just been absolutely staggering.
He's been fantastic.
He's recorded 2.2 successful tackles per 90, which is the highest at the club.
Really impressive.
And on top of that, he's recorded 1.6 interceptions per 90, which is also the highest at the club. So him sitting in front of the back line has been absolutely integral.
For sure.
And like I said, Elliot Anderson, he's done his bit too, but to be honest, he probably has more of an input maybe in the attacking play.
I agree
on the front foot, as opposed to being this defensive warrior like the Argentine. But to caveat everything we've said, Forest went away to Bournemouth earlier on this campaign and shipped 5 goals. So can the defence be really that good if they ship 5 goals in one game? First and foremost, the answer is yes. But how exactly did Bournemouth exploit this back line? So Irregular instructed his side to press with less conviction than they normally do, which led to Forest having more possession than they usually like.
Which is certainly not their strength, is it?
No, not at all, because Forest ranked lowest in the league for possession, well, for average possession, with 39.4%.
I mean, Forest holding the ball for such a long time, it isn't something they're used to, and clearly ended up in there making mistakes, and Bournemouth obviously pounced upon it, which is why they ended up completely smashing them.
Exactly, that's the problem. But ultimately, are they a bad defence?
No, definitely not.
They are a really fantastic backline. They're settled, they're assured, they've got experience with a bit of youth in there as well. But that day, they were just completely caught out, mainly due to the mastermind of Irregular and a little bit of naivety from this man. But that is a rare case this season because they've been fantastic as a unit, especially as a backline.